I did work with Senator Hoylman on his bill. I made quite a few recommendations and amendments, and he heard me, and I respect that, and I will tell you, he is my friend and my colleague, and I am greatly appreciative of the amount of work he has put into his bill. But I've also told him that I don't think it's ready or fully cooked yet, fully baked. I'm not sure what the analogy is. And so I find myself having to say still that I cannot support this bill. And it's not because that I don't support surrogacy, specifically non-commercial surrogacy, but because of my concern that once you put commercial companies into the mix, commercial IPV, commercial baby brokers, commercial egg collection sites, you run risks that have been seen around the world and in other parts of this country of things that can go wrong. And so I don't think the bill is strong enough yet, Madam President. I'm concerned about the risks of women's health when they are surrogates. I am very concerned about the risks of young women who donate/sell their eggs and are not correctly notified of the actual risk to themselves, their own future fertility. I'm concerned about the risks to women who are surrogates, give birth, and what the issues might be for those children for the rest of their lives afterwards. The research shows that women who undergo IVF for their own pregnancies have higher rates of pregnancy and delivery complications compared to women who conceive naturally, but women who act as surrogates have even higher rates of problems, even though they are by definition younger, healthier, carefully screened for the potential to be a surrogate. Women who use eggs from other women have increased risks of preeclampsia, which can be dangerous for the rest of their lives, with cardiovascular disease, heart failure, and stroke. There's evidence that fertility industry physicians have conflicts of interest in a commercial market because the health professionals involved are generally paid by the commissioning parents, money that moves through surrogacy brokers, gamete banks, which all take a cut and may engage in medical practices to maximize their profit without asking the hard questions about what are the risks to egg donors and surrogates. The fact is, the research that has been coming out, and that's a real problem, Madam President, because no one's doing correct research. We need to make these mandatory egg registries, surrogate registries, they're voluntary in this bill, that we're finding that young women are being convinced to allow themselves to be shot up with enormous amounts of hormones 10, 12, 14 times in order to harvest enormous numbers of eggs for the gamete banks. No one's giving them the factual evidence that they may be putting their own fertility at risk. They may be putting their bodies at risk for immediate problems and then for longer-term cancers from the kinds of hormones they are being shot up with. There are lots and lots of concerns that people have. I have endless testimony, as well as the testimony that I sat through in Senator Hoylman's hearing from doctors, academics, bioethicists, lawyers, who raise very serious concerns about moving into a commercial universe. And so it's not that I don't think we can get there, and it's not for lack of respect for people who want to have children through a surrogacy arrangement. I do understand the issues of having trouble with fertility. I myself couldn't have children. But the fact is, you have to be so careful when you're setting up a commercial model of health care. We try to make sure we don't have for-profit health care in New York State. And you have to be exceptionally conscious of the fact that, while in theory everybody will have lawyers and everyone will have screenings and everybody will be reviewed, you're actually saying you're buying and selling eggs and you're renting wombs. And I think when you're doing that for commercial purposes, you have to be beyond crossing your T's and dotting your I's. So I do thank the sponsor for the work he has been doing. We may get another chance to look at this bill in future years. I'm not sure what happens in the other house at this time. But even if this moves through both houses today, I would urge my colleagues to immediately get to work to see how we can amend and improve this and ensure that we are avoiding the mistakes of other countries and other states, and that we do eventually get this right. I vote no, Madam President. Thank you.